you're gonna get it soon, probably. Are you getting it?
Not yet.
It's showing that I'm live on my end. So
Just take a minute. Yeah.
yeah. I'm so not on right now. I'm not like I'm not in very good professional like PR public appearance mode. My brain is sleepy and my soul is sleepy. My entire central nervous system is sleepy. And so I got to wake myself up because 451 people are hearing me say this. Hi, everyone. Hello. Merry Christmas or happy whatever it is that you celebrate or whatever. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, wow. That's a hell of a super chat I just got right there. That was quick and amazing and unnecessary. Thank you. Somebody named Mel699 just sent $50. That's got to be in a different currency, or it's like a prank. You're going to get a refund or something, right? Because it's got to be like Malaysian dollars or something. I don't know what currency Malaysia uses, but it can't be American dollars. If it is, you should. You thank you. That's very sweet of you. Hello to you too. So I wanted to pop in because the Slouching Towards Branson album is supposed to be dropping in like an hour or so. In some places, it's already out apparently, but my time it drops at midnight. I said Christmas Eve a couple of times releasing it because it is going to be technically Christmas Eve, but it's really going to be more like Christmas Eve because it's hard to call it Christmas Eve when it is still the night before, even though it is 12 a.m. And I definitely was worried that I was confusing people with that because it was you get it. I hope that you guys weren't too confused. The Order of the Hyena says, love you, homie. Hope you well. Hey, back at you, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. So I just wanted to pop on, let you all know it's happening, and encourage you guys to stream it on something other than Spotify. Spotify has been putting me through the absolute ringer for the past like 2 days. I've been trying to talk to their support team about just like some basic stuff, and they just keep answering questions that aren't the question I asked and then sending links, and then I ask a question about what's on the link, and then they just send the link again, or they answer a different question once again other than the one that I asked. And then they're like, hold on a sec, we're going to send somebody else to help you. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody else goes, oh, I'll review what you guys were just talking about, and then respond with something that has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. And it's been going on for 2 days. And all I was trying to figure out was like a very basic like marketing thing behind the scenes. And so I would encourage you all to stream this somewhere other than Spotify in solidarity with my rising blood pressure. And also just because of like, there's all kinds of like good political reasons or whatever you might want to do that. So I support that too. And also just because they just suck in general. Also because selfishly, every other streaming service basically pays like way more. Like Apple Music pays like 4 times as much to their artists than Spotify does, which is crazy. It really sucks that Spotify is like very much like what's the word I'm looking for? Like the streaming service that everybody has and uses because I like getting paid for my work. Really quick, Mel699, the very generous Mel, thank you very much, said, bought an MP3 player and hope to listen to it off that. Well, that's awesome. Fuck yeah. Enjoy that. Thanks again for the support. We got another super chat here. Corbin says, let's all destroy Spotify. Hi, Will. Happy holidays. Hey, same to you too. And sure, go ahead, destroy Spotify. I'm not going to fight that battle, but you know, if you want to, I guess I think I accidentally started fighting that battle right now. But anyway, Starshey222 says, love your stuff, dude. Thanks, Starshey. I appreciate it. And we got somebody else who's far too generous. Eddie Revenge, thank you so much. Eddie Revenge says, love Slouching so much. Absolute peak cinema. Take my British pennies. Have a very happy whatever, dude. Same to you, Eddie. Thank you so much. Aurora Rain says, I'm going to take each single string of code out of Spotify and eat it like it's battery acid spaghetti, parentheses, bad. Yeah, if you can figure out how to do that, I encourage it. Go for it. Eat that shit up. I can't imagine it's going to taste good, yeah. But if you're hungry and you got access, try it out. See what happens. Also, thank you, Mateo Pensis. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Volcanic Shoe wants to know my opinion on Plants vs. Zombies. I don't have one. I've never played the game. I'm sorry about that. I appreciate all the super chats, guys. This is crazy. I was going to come on here and answer any questions folks might have about the Slouching project. So hold on. Whoa, you guys are, tis the season of giving too much. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Disappointing Juice. Is it Disappointing Juice? I can't see, your screen name's cut off. I'm sorry, but thank you, Disappointing. I'm gonna assume it's Juice. Thank you, Disappointing Juice. And thank you, Tim K, and thank you, Astronova. I very much appreciate it. And thank you, Atherius. I appreciate that. Somebody said, bro, I work support for Spotify, and there's like special phrases you have to do to get an actual human because of last year we switched to AI. It makes my life hell. Holy shit. But when you first go into the chat, it says you've got an AI, and then I say, take me to a human, and then they say, okay, here's a human. But then those humans they're not as clever as AIs tend to be. So I don't know how. That blows my mind, because you think if they're going to do AI, they'd go with like Claude or ChatGPT or whatever LLM is capable of answering in simulated speech on a basic level. Anyway, I got to catch up. Hold on. Thank you, guys. Probmonkiosis says, I'm about to watch the full movie. I've been meaning to for a while, and I finally got some extra money. That's awesome. Thank you for the support. For those of you who are curious, the film version of Slouching Towards Branson is on my Patreon. It's currently $3.50, or if you join the Patreon for as little as $3, it's free. I mean, you paid to become a member, but you get access to like a bajillion other things as well. So yeah, that's how that works. That's my business model. Step right up. I hope you like it. I really hope you like it. It's been such a weird experience, this project, because, you know, it to me, it's an example of like something that I've been doing for years, but nobody really is at all familiar with. And I think a lot of people won't expect it if they're not at all familiar with what it is, if they haven't heard about it yet. So just to explain what it is, because I feel like there's probably a lot of, like, I don't know what people know. Slouching Towards Branson, I've referred to it as like a concert film. I've referred to it as a movie. I've referred to it as basically everything other than what it really is, which is a comedy special. And I guess the reason why is probably because like it isn't funny. I think that's why. I think there's part of me that's just like, I don't want to call it a comedy special, because that would be so cringe, because it's not funny enough to call it a comedy special. And what I mean by that is like, so I mean, people laugh. There are people laughing in the video and in the audio. You can hear it. Clearly some people thought it was funny, but like, it's also sad sometimes. And the point isn't like jokes. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the Rogan sphere and the Kill Tony world that have just turned me off of admitting that I'm a comedian with my words. And I think that's what it is. I think the culture of like weird jockish, like I just speak truth to power, man, stand-up comedy has kind of just like really twisted the art form into this thing where people treat it more like it's a sport than an art. I really like the comedians who acknowledge that what they're doing is they are casting themselves in a one-man play. Like that's what every comedian does. And some of them like to pretend that that's not what they do. Um, and so anyway, the point is, yeah, it's like sensitive guy alt comic stuff. And so it's weird for me to just call it a comedy special, especially since it's got a bunch of songs in it, and those songs aren't comedy songs. You know, they're wacky, they're a little goofy, because they're my music, but the it's not all jokes. And so, but when it comes down to it, it's a comedy special. And what's going up tonight is the audio version of it, so you can listen to it and you can watch it on Patreon. You can listen to it on streaming services, or you can, download stuff. I'm going to try and catch up with the super chats now. I hope I made any point at all. I wonder how coherent I just was. I don't feel like I frequently am very. So why should now be any different? Okay, Zircon one pants. I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce that. It's got numbers and letters in it. Don't make me do algebra. Anyway, you're my biggest inspiration for music. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're my biggest inspiration for music. Money. That sucks. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ubas Perez says, "Hi, Will. Can I make some Spanish subs for your Slouching Towards Branson film? I would send you the subtitle file if it helps." Maybe try reaching out to my booking agent with it when it's done. I don't know. Maybe he can help you. I don't want to send people to him, but maybe I definitely would appreciate it. I tried to get subtitles that weren't the automated ones done, and I spent so much money on some subtitle company that claimed that it would all be hand done with real people doing it, and they just kept sending me stuff that was clearly like not more detailed or better than just standardized AI generated closed captions, which those work, they're okay, but they definitely miss a lot of stuff. And I feel like, I don't know, hopefully they still do the trick. I mean, like if you watch it and you're at all like hearing impaired or anything, or you just like to have subtitles going, it should still work just fine what they've got, I think, on Vimeo. If I'm wrong, I will do my best to fix that. I'll look at that soon. Vimeo is the platform that pushes it through Patreon. Sorry if that wasn't clear. But yeah, I need to do some digging into the subtitles. So thanks for reminding me of that. And maybe at some point, yeah, we could do some Spanish ones too. Thank you so much. Flippity Flop Socks says, "I adored the movie and I can't wait to steam ream this nonstop. Cheers." Thanks so much. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. You guys are going a little fast with the super chats. You gotta stop being so nice. It will get you nowhere. I don't know what I'm saying. Hold on a sec. Okay, I've got to the top of the chat. I may have missed a couple. I apologize if that's the case. Ver says, "I like your shirt. Have a nice day." And then 2 bread emojis. Thank you so much for the bread and the bread. Mel says, "Not gonna be able to donate more after this, but I want to tell you this movie made me sob and laugh so much. It's one of my favorite films." Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to donate anything at all. So the fact that you're going out of your way to, you don't have to be like that. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. Snake Eyes in Between says, "Will Wood, you're amazing and I love your music." Thank you. You're amazing and I love you. Thank you, Just Monkaz. I don't think I pronounced that right at all. Sorry. Ropoid says, "Will, is Slouching going to be on SoundCloud?" Maybe at some point. I'm kind of not so hot on SoundCloud as of late. And I don't know my SoundCloud account, I don't think it even needs to exist, frankly. No offense to SoundCloud preferers. I don't want to keep up with it. I already have a million other things that I got to keep up with all the time. And it's just, SoundCloud is just not a platform for me at this point, but maybe, I don't know. It depends. I kind of do like everything myself. Like like I have a team, but it's a small team and it's an occasional team. And so like every little thing that goes up on the internet anywhere, like I kind of do it, like kind of. Point is that I'm constantly juggling things and my brain is very loose and does not hold on to things. And so slouching will be on SoundCloud if I remember to and also feel like it, which is gonna be hard. I don't know. But yeah, sorry about that. I would recommend maybe Bandcamp, but honestly, I probably shouldn't have a Bandcamp anymore for like complicated financial reasons. So like, I don't. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, or I'm going off in a million tangents. But yeah, maybe yes. Thank you. Lily Dim says, "You're so peak. Me and my Pookie have been waiting," and then a little 3 face. Back at you, man. Thank you. Moth8325 wants an update on the prescription novelization. Is it still being worked on or no? Love your stuff, by the way. Thank you so much. I haven't been working on it much, on and off. I tinker with it. I don't know where it's going to go and when. I think I'm just got to take some time until I can rediscover what works about it for me. I can't. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it, to be honest. But you know, if there is an update to be had, I will share it with y'all. Thank you. A Floofy Sheep says, "I've seen your Chicago show the last 2 years. Hell yeah. Thanks so much." 9999 says, "The crazy thing is that I just bought Slouching Towards Bethlehem today at Barnes & Noble while doing last minute Christmas shopping." Fuck yeah. That is, obviously, I like that book. I clearly, for those of you who aren't familiar, Slouching Towards Bethlehem is a book from 1968 by Joan Didion. It's a book of essays about just change, kind of, and it was a big inspiration for me when I was making the decision to come back from my big dramatic hiatus. And so I named the show, the tour, the show that I performed on the tour, and then the movie and everything after it, kind of Slouching Towards Branson. If you watch it or you listen to it through, it'll make sense. Yeah, enjoy. It's a fantastic book. Thank you so much. Here we go. The Italian Scoundrel says, 5 a.m. right now in Italy. The film is amazing. Can't wait for the album to drop. Cheers. Thanks so much. Eekster says, "Will Life in the World to Come be regular again at some point? I miss it so much." I think that it might become regular at some point, but I don't think it's going to be weekly again anytime too soon. Chris and I love doing it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but we just recorded one like last week, a week and a half ago. And I don't know, he just wants to take his time and have it stay fun. And I kind of feel the same way. And so I don't know, we might just do them occasionally, but I pitched the idea of like making it like maybe like at least like monthly or something. And he's open to it, but really just like he is very far away. We live very far away from each other. And so it's hard to do. And he's very busy with Revelator. For those of you who aren't aware, Life in the World to Come is a podcast that I do with my longtime friend and collaborator, Chris Dunn. And basically, it's just like a goofy, like, it's like my brother and me, only edgier and about the apocalypse and also dumber and kind of gross. And we answer questions about the apocalypse and do improv bits and sometimes talk about our personal lives in weird ways and go off track. Whatever. It's a podcast, you know, it's the podcast that men have. And so he is also, Chris Dunn is also working on an audiobook and podcast called Revelator that started off as like an offshoot from Life in the World to Come and has kind of taken on a life of its own. And it's really fantastically written. I narrated 1 or 2 of the first chapters of the first season, which are on Spotify and podcast sites. And yeah, so he's really busy with that. So I recommend that. And also we just live far away from each other, but I hope we can do it more frequently again someday. Sammy Smirk says, hey, Will, can you say 67? Also, what platforms will Slouching Branson be out? Slouching Branson will be out on all of the major streaming platforms, basically all of them. It won't be on YouTube Music just because some of it is not music, and therefore YouTube Music won't let me put it on YouTube Music. But other than that, it'll be on basically all of them. I don't know about SoundCloud, and definitely not YouTube Music, but Spotify, Apple Music, probably like Tidal, like, you know, they've all the stuff. So yeah. Also, I know I already said it, but I ain't saying it. All right. Thank you so much. Jaden Moth says, consider coming to Quebec someday, please. Absolutely. I have a lot of family in Canada, and I am actually currently working on getting my Canadian citizenship verified. Because technically speaking, I'm Canadian, so just getting that set up because I want to spend more time up there. So yeah, I'll be there eventually. Luyu says, hi, Will, this is just because I use Spotify. We'll buy on Bandcamp later. Hey, I use Spotify too. I just don't like Spotify. But hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Smoky Sundown says, I love your music, dude. Got me through the roughest times of my life. Memento Mori is the best song ever. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Paleo Pirate says, hey, Will, love your work. Fun fact, there's a geologic formation called the Willwood Formation in central Wyoming. Man, fuck Wyoming though, right? Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I went through Wyoming and on tour, and you know, people will tell you that Wyoming is very sparse, and I didn't know how true that could possibly be. There's nothing there. There's nobody there. The most populated town in Wyoming is like a Newark suburb. Okay. Here we go. Long of a Lark says, was there anything you cut from Slouching that you regret not ended up in the show? I always struggle with keeping creative nonfiction tight/concise. That's a good question. Things that were cut. There was like 10 minutes of dumb one-liners at the beginning of the live show because I felt like I needed that in order to wake up the audience and kind of get them to understand what to expect, and then also give them an expectation I could also subvert later on. In the live context, having that 10 minutes of like one-liners and, you know, like just mean jokes and stuff, and like, you know, poking fun of the online fandom and stuff, that was, I think, really important for the live performance, but I think would have been a big hindrance to include in the film. Also, it was like 10 minutes, and it had more, like, it was just, it's already, I also had a difficulty keeping it tight and concise. And frankly, I don't know if I ever succeeded. The first drafts of Slouching Towards Branson were like 2 hours and 20 minutes. And so there were like 2 months where I was trying so hard to like try and figure out, how do I get this tightened up without sacrificing what's necessary? How do I make it so that this like says so that I say everything I want to say and I don't have to kill too many of my darlings? And it was really tough. There were nights where the show ran like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And, you know, there were nights where they were like, you have an hour 45 tonight. If you go 1 minute over, we're going to charge you $30,000. And I was like, dang. And so like now I'm poor because I went over that time. That didn't happen, but there are venues that will make those threats. So yeah, it's tough. I don't know if I have any advice for keeping creative nonfiction tight/concise, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks for the support, and I appreciate the question. That was cool. Brewster, or 8 Rooster, says, hey, Will, I just started listening to your music back in June. Can you shout out my friend who introduced me to your music? His nickname is Goggles. Hi, Goggles. Avery Paffin says, saw it live in St. Louis last year, and the messages have inspired me so much in creating art and being a disordered human. Made me nostalgic to middle school me's Bo Burnham and Tim Minchin specials. Bo Burnham and Tim Minchin are like, you can't, like, yeah, those are like the greats in terms of like anything that's like similar to what I do. I wish I could play piano like Tim Minchin. Oh my God, he is incredible. Listening to Mitsubishi Colt recently, if you're familiar with that track, like it's unbelievable what he does with that. He is such an incredibly talented, incredibly skilled pianist, and I'm so jealous. Such a clever guy. I'll listen to Thank You God for fixing the cataracts of Sam's mom all the time, and there's definitely a little bit of Tim Minchin in there, not just because like I feel like Memento Mori is kind of Tim Minchin-y, only like by way of Randy Newman, but also like I do like dumb atheism humor in the show too, and so yeah, I appreciate the connection being seen because like yeah, it's that stuff's in there. I'm so glad that you got something positive out of the show. The St. Louis show was like geez, that was an interesting show because a lot of people after the show told me that it was a particularly good performance, and I think that was the show that got like a pretty good review. I think that was the one that like I was like, wow, thank you so much to the review that was written about it. I could be wrong, but while I was on stage, I was like, this is tough because I knew I was in Missouri, and I have frequently gotten the sense that Missouri seems to feel that Branson is a weird thing that happened to Missouri and not an inevitable consequence of Missouri. And like, I feel like I don't want to come at Missourians like fuck you guys or something like that. But I was like definitely really nervous because I was afraid I was like it would be like going to Florida and shitting on Disney World. Although I don't know, maybe Floridians don't love Disney World. No, they do. I'll ask my booking agent. I'm surprised I've never asked him like his thoughts on Disney World. He's from Florida. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the support and the kind words. Junebug says, was there for this live. Can't wait to tell my family I'm technically on an album. Oh, that's awesome. I want to ask you which show you were at, but I'm probably not gonna see your answer unless you send me money, and that's crazy. I'm gonna ask you not to send me the answer because then it would feel like I'm like being like, why don't you tell me what show you were at? You know, I'm not doing that. So thank you for coming to the show, and so glad to see that you're getting that kick out of it, and I appreciate the support. Scrolling through. Maxwell Boucher says, any word on a Selfish anniversary concert? Everything is a lot, was such a blast. Yeah, we'll probably do one. Pokaku says, hello, Will. Could you send a hi to my beloved BF Maxi? We both love your music. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, Maxi. Thanks for the support, guys. Louis says, hi, Will. Saw your Dead show in Seattle. It was amazing. Made me both cry and laugh. Love your work. So excited to listen to Slouching. Have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the show. I'm trying to think which location Seattle was. Seattle was which one was Seattle? Was that the Neptune Theater? Hey babe, was the Neptune Theater the Seattle show?
I think that was Oregon. I don't know.
No, that was the Portland Performing Arts Center or whatever in Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, that was a blast of a show. I'm so glad that it impacted you in such a way. That's great to hear, and it means a lot. Thank you. Call Me Kyle 42 says, hi, Will, love your music. It really helped me pull through school and graduate earlier this year. I'm so happy I got to see you on tour. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jaden Adams says, saw you in Felton Music Hall. Would be going on tour again? If so, when and will you be coming back to Felton? Felton Music Hall. I loved that venue. I remember that venue. That was such a cool venue. You guys were an awesome audience. I don't know on and off. And when you do it that way, really, it just becomes one very, very long tour. Because getting ready for a tour and then recovering from a tour takes a while, at least for me. I don't know how, like, take Schaefer James. He's on tour constantly. That guy plays so many goddamn shows. It's unbelievable. And I don't know how he does it. Like, I have no idea. I could never do what he does. But yeah, I had some experiences on that tour. I was just like, I can't, just do this unless I'm like very ready. So it's probably going to be a while. But when that does happen, I don't know if I'll be back in Felton per se, but I will be coming back to your area most likely. Yeah. Thank you. Easter says, how bad your eyesight? It's not that bad. I don't like not wearing my glasses, but it's not like terrible. I can like almost read street signs. Almost. I can like make out the shapes. I'm like, that's probably a speed limit that says probably 50. So I'm going to go 50, except I live in New Jersey. So it's more like that's probably says 50. So I'm going to go 75. For those of you who don't know, New Jersey, the speed limit is, you're supposed to drive like between like 5 and 10 miles per hour over the speed limit in New Jersey. I didn't realize that was like a New Jersey exclusive thing until I got just like demolished with tickets in Ohio. So yeah, thank you so much. Never Ever says, cool fact, I got over my fear of rats because of your music. Hell yeah. Last year I went to Cali for a concert of yours, but the roads got icy in Utah. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Fuck Utah. Well, I can't. Utah. Nope. You know that meme where it's like why do you call it an oven when of you in the you know that meme? My brain started doing that when I was trying to make a Utah to you. Why Utah do that to you? Yeah, that's not it. That's nothing. That's so nothing. Anyway, sorry. I'm glad I could help you through your fear of rats. And I'm sorry you missed the show. Hope to catch you next time. Thanks so much. Caitlin and Polly, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, geez, I got the chat throws me around and I try to keep up with all the super chats, and then the scroll of messages go. So sorry about that. Yeah, boy says, can you say hi to Lane and Grim and Gabe? Thanks. Hi, Lane, Grim, and Gabe. Thank you. Comprise says, donating to get Unk paid. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Thank you. Junebug says, screw you, I'm sending you the answer anyways. Cool, awesome, thank you. This is a callback to a few minutes ago. Junebug says, I was at the Portland show, my first time seeing you live, and it was an incredible first impression. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear it. That was such a delight of a show. It was like a really special one. Yeah, to anybody who was at the show in Portland in 24, that's a big chunk of Slouching Towards Branson was filmed there. So yeah, cool. Thank you. Kayate says, Will, would you ever consider coming to Mexico and Latin America? For sure. It's just a matter of like funding and stuff, funding and logistics, and mostly logistics. So at some point I would definitely love to. Don't have any current plans to, but maybe someday. Yeah. Thank you. Toxic Mystic says, do you ever plan to come visit Australia? Yeah, same situation. When I can, for sure. Thank you. Stephen Katz says, Will, I love your music, man. We met on the first New York City date during the Slouching Towards Branson tour. Keep up the good work, Goat. Thanks so much. I'm very glad to hear it. It's good to hear from you again. And yeah, thank you. Vampire Reference says, went to the Atlanta show in July. Had such a blast. Super excited to see the next one. Ever thought about heading to Indianapolis? Chicago is so far. Thank you so much. So glad you had fun at the show. Atlanta was crazy. There was one day during the ticket sales where all of a sudden the tickets jumped up by like 300. And my booking agent called me. It was like, the tickets just went up by like 300. Dude, this show's going to sell out in no time. This is going to be huge, man. It's the Masquerade. And I'm like, 300 tickets, sold that fast. Those are scalpers, dude. And he was like, but what if they're not? And they were. The place was missing like 300 people worth of crowd. So stupid scalpers. Scalpers, don't buy Will Wood tickets. Buy like tickets for like a famous guy who actually like sells like large amounts of tickets. Like that's like, I am not the guy you, whatever. As for going to Indianapolis, have I been to Indianapolis? Babe, have we been to Indianapolis?
Yeah.
I think we've been to Indianapolis.
Well, I don't know if we did a show, but we've been through it.
Oh, we've been through it. We've been through it. Okay, so, all right, so we haven't played in Indianapolis, to my knowledge. Okay. Oh, I'm thinking Minneapolis. That's what it is. Yeah, no, we played Minneapolis. Indianapolis is a very different place. It depends on like the numbers and stuff. Where we play is based on like a million different factors and is ultimately up to my booking agent. But someday, I don't see why not, for sure. Thank you. Sip It Tao says, hi, thank you for helping me get over my fear of rats. It was a pretty irrational fear, but I love rats now, so thank you. Have happy whatever. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. Don't be scared of rats, except be scared of some rats a little bit. Better Than the Alternative says, can you say hello, Zubin? I love your music so much. Hello, Zubin. Thank you. A Person 77 says, hello, Will. I hope you have the best of days. Hey, back at you. Thanks so much. Straw Hat PSD says, who decides your venues when you tour and what's the process like? Well, okay. So yeah, it's ultimately decided by my booking agent, and the process is complicated. You know, there's a reason why a booking agent is a whole job, right? His entire job is working that out. And as much as anyone's job has a million ins and outs and complexities and interpersonal relationships that get involved and conversations that are complicated and involve all kinds of like it's just like, it's a very complicated thing that I understand only a little bit of. And that's largely due to the fact that like before I had a booking agent, I was like self-booking basement shows and coffee shops and bars, you know, like it's a whole world, the world of being a booking agent, right? And so, but what I can tell you a little bit based on my little bit of experience doing my own booking is that it's based in part on who's got the best deal, you know, who can pay the best and who can provide the best service in exchange for that, what venue is the most comfortable, and the best fitted for the type of show. So like, for instance, I would not do a solo show at the Masquerade. I mean, I have done that. I wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't do a solo show in a big standing room auditorium. It would be a terrible idea. I've done that a few times and it's always been crazy because people in a standing room, they want to rock and roll. One of my solo shows, that's not a place you rock and roll. You go to one of my solo shows and you start rocking and rolling, people are going to be mad at you. You know, they have to be seated theaters or cabarets or like a city winery type venue. And so, so that's part of it too. It's the type of show, you know, who can pay the best, and the location is going to be dependent on, you know, how many heads we can draw to that show from that market. And also it's going to be dependent on where we're coming from and where we got to go next. And that's my booking agent, his name is Matt. I don't know how Matt does it. I imagine it's like a cork board with a bunch of like pins and yarn connecting various like contracts, and it's yeah, it's a lot. It's ultimately, though, to answer your question simply, up to my booking agent. Thank you. Spirits of the North says, "Hi, Will. Love your hair. I want to get a cut like it. Thanks so much. My wife does it. Nobody else is allowed to, because it's a lot of people can relate to going to the barber and being like, this is good. Thanks so much," and then leaving and being like, "Ah, fuck, I hate myself." But if I go to the barber, I'm at risk of becoming a danger to myself and others. So anyway, yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm trying to catch back up. Grave says, "Hi, I've been a huge fan of music for a long time. I hope to see you in Vancouver, Canada sometime." Hey, I hope to see you there too. Thank you. Charleston Does Art says, "Love your music. Thank you for brightening my day." Hey, back at you, man. Thank you. Snailing Abduction says, "Saw you at Mr. Smells in PA and had an amazing time, but God, the hill the venue was on was awful. Love the surprise opener." Oh, I don't remember the hill. Sorry about that. Mr. Smalls. Oh yeah, Mr. Smalls. Yeah, that hill was indeed god awful. Sorry about the hill, man. That was a fun show though. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the super chat. Vampire Reference says, "You would not have been to Indianapolis because I would have gone." Okay, there you go. So we haven't been to Indianapolis because Vampire Reference wasn't there. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Albertob says, "Brainwashing my boyfriend into liking your music. It worked." Wow. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you so much. Andre Kriegman's left nip. Okay, interesting. Says, "Skeleton Appreciation Day got me through recovery. Thanking you always." That's all you, man. I'm glad it meant something to you. But yeah, thank you. Ever Scatterbrain says, "Little something. Hope I can see a show one day." Hey, thank you so much. I hope you can too. Miss Lovebat says, "Come back to Minneapolis, please." I'll be there at some point, and it will be Minneapolis, and maybe also Indianapolis. Rabsong says, "Funny you should mention the Atlanta show. I was there with my homeboy this past summer, and we wanted to get the VIP booking, but it sold out within like less than a minute. LOL. Next time, though. Next time. Yeah, that one did sell pretty quick. But we'll do it again at some point. Thank you so much. Tatiana McPartland says, "Happy Hanukkah." Hey, thanks. Same to you. "Thank you for your work and artistry. It is eerie to connect to art on psych, health, and religiosity level." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Flagugans says, "Hello, you have such a fantastic mind." Wow, that's a strong start. Give me money and tell me I have a fantastic mind. My God, you're gonna give me a personality disorder. Thank you. You, Jonah Vasquez, and Tom Lehrer have helped me get through so much. Can you say hi to Leslie and Gemma? Hi, Leslie. Hi, Gemma. That's funny. Me, Jonah Vasquez, and Tom Lehrer. That's an interesting combination because I feel like if you have Jonah Vasquez and Tom Lehrer, you don't need me. Anyway, thank you. Yeah Boy says, "First concert phone, second no phone, improvement possible." Fuck yeah. Put those phones away. It's at the rock concerts with the tapeworms. It's not like a horrible thing if you take your phone out and take a picture or take a video or something. Like that's like not a big deal. I just always ask people to put their phones away at those shows because it's like a fun thing that we can do together is all not have our phones out. And also, putting your phone up in the air pisses off the people behind you, and you're probably not going to watch that video anyway. But even so, the point is like, that's for the audience's sake and for the sake of like people just like actually just like being there and only thinking about like the real world in front of them and not thinking about the internet or later on. Roswell, meow. This is Roswell. But with the solo shows, the phone thing is just like, what are you? I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about, but yeah. Um, okay. Thank you so much. The King of Slay says, I love you, Will Woodell. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm trying to grab my Roswell. Ow! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Roz. This is Roswell. We found him in the trash. He's only got one eye. He came like that. Actually, he came in worse shape than that. It was just like a goopy hole that was all infected. We had to take him to the vet and get the rest of the eye goop scraped out and stitched closed. My wife and I picked him up at an abandoned construction site in South Carolina. You should have died. And here you are. Okay. Yeah. Love you too. Thanks so much. Still trying to catch up, guys. I appreciate your patience. Cosmonautic says, sign Orlando in both 2022 and 2025. Thank you for great shows and great music. Thank you. Looky Lou D&D says, I got to see you in St. Louis this September. It was a great show. Congrats to you and Chris. Wish I could have made it to the cavern since it landed on an important day for me, but maybe next time. Much love, Kat. Thank you so much. St. Louis was such a fun show. That was an unbelievably fun show. I walked off the stage at the end of that show. I was just like, fuck yeah. You guys were an incredible audience. You were so much fun, and it was such a pleasure to play for you guys. And it was great to be able to whip out some Slouching Towards Branson material. That show was just like, man, looking back at that one, such a joy. Thank you so much. Beachwalk says, hi, Will. I saw you this year in Athens. I love your music and shows. The movie was such a good watch. You've also been an inspiration for my brother who's been playing your songs nonstop on piano. Hey, that's great to hear. I'm sorry that you saw me in Athens. I'll get them next time.